Today's my last day here in my house. Tomorrow I leave for Bali indefinitely, and it just feels like very bittersweet, so surreal. And I truly, like, I love my house. I love my house. This has been my home for the past year and a half where I've really sought refuge. This has been my haven. And yes, I'm moving to Bali, like, and it's very bittersweet, and it sucks. Like, I can't live here anymore. My children are here. I don't really speak to my family, but my children live here. They're 14 and 18 years old. Just don't want to be here. I don't want to be here anymore. I have lived here almost 40 years of my life. There's so much more to the world. There's so much more to the world than just this little piece of backyard, this house. There's so much to see, and I don't want to see it only 2 times a year, only 2 weeks a year. I want a vacation. I want to travel for all my life, but just know that there are sacrifices. There are sacrifices that are made, and this is one of them. Having to give up my house yet again, willingly, but having to do this in order to get to what I want. This is the closing of a chapter and the beginning of another one, and it's beautiful. It's bittersweet, but at the same time, it's the bitter part now. It's the bitter part now.
So Americans are not.
Listen, I wasn't even mad at her when she mentioned that she wanted to go to Bali, right? At first. Because, listen, if you're going to make the sacrifices and give up your house or whatever else you sacrifice for whatever philosophy you want to follow, then go ahead. But what is absolutely unacceptable to sacrifice as a mother is your kids. That's not something you get to claim sacrifice and everybody is just going to say that that's okay. Because it's not. She says she has a 14-year-old and an 18-year-old, and she's about to go move permanently to Bali. So you still got one kid that's you're still not done raising. And I would even argue the 18-year-old, you're not done raising him or her or whatever. But see, this isn't a sacrifice. This is just selfish. This is selfish. And you don't want to take responsibility for your responsibilities. It's really just that simple. This is crazy. And if the reason that she's leaving, listen, if you're trying to leave because you just want to go through a bunch of life experiences, that's great. But if you tell me you're leaving because of a president's policies, that, I mean, you got to cite which ones. Let's just be honest. She just don't like the president. It's like a temper tantrum. That's what the caption said. If that's the reason you're leaving and that's the reason that you're about to abandon your kids, that's insane.
Millions of people worldwide is starting to give up on this economy, and I see why, right? They trying to price people out. Corporations don't want to pay more money because they only want to care about their profits. And I get it for those that sit there and say, well, run your own business, you'll understand.
Nah.
Let me tell you something, bro. If you're going to hire some employees and you're going to have people working for you and having people run your business, you need to pay them some livable wages so that they're not stuck in survival mode. Because when life throws punches like this and the cost of living is rising, but you keeping their paycheck the same, you're blatantly telling them, I don't care about you and I don't care about what happens in your life. I just want you to help me rake in more profits. So, it's getting tough out here, y'all. Try your best.
Yeah.
Millions of people.
Yeah, and I agree with him. Before we unpack it, if you all could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second. Helps out more than you know. But yeah, I mean, he's got a valid point. You know, a lot of times when we talk over here is what you'll hear me tell people is don't put self-inflicted wounds on yourself and then basically complain about you have all these responsibilities you're dealing with. But I would even argue there's a lot of people struggling who really haven't put self-inflicted wounds on themselves, especially the younger generation that's coming out here. I think they're going to have it the hardest, especially if they already come into the world with a lot of trauma and a lot of things that they need to work through, which especially a lot of people in my community start off with. So myself included. But it's a lot harder to navigate now than it's ever been. And I would argue that the corporations have a lot to do with that because they have a lot to do with inflation. You know, grocery prices don't go up if Walmart doesn't raise the grocery prices. The cost to buy a movie ticket doesn't go up if the movie theaters don't raise the movie prices, right? You can't buy a $2 movie ticket anymore. But what we find is that wages are not, one, they're not matching the rate of inflation, and they're also not even proportionate to the price increases that we see corporations do. So that begs for us to argue kind of what this brother was declaring, which is, how do you expect people to continue to live when everything around you is increasing, but I would argue you're expected to do the same amount of work, if not more work. You're expected to work harder while your money just goes down in value, and even your pay goes down in value. Because if you make 50K last year, once inflation hits for that next year, the 50K that you make is not 50K anymore. You actually just got a pay cut, not a pay increase. So if the corporation doesn't match at least the rate of inflation, then every year you're actually getting demoted, and most people don't even realize it.
Speaking more on the average person being priced out of happiness in society, you remember when holidays actually meant something? Like Christmas break actually meant something. Like you was like, oh shit, man, I hope I get that PlayStation. Oh, I hope I get them Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Oh, I hope I get this. I hope I get that. Only to get a fucking shirt now. Some people actually did get a fucking shirt. But in all seriousness, trick-or-treating actually meant something. Like holidays were actually fun because you had something to look forward to. You no longer have anything to look forward to as an adult in 2025. All of the fun is fucking gone. All of the joy, life has always been difficult to an extent, but at least we had holidays, fun times, the ability to go on vacation, all of these things to kind of distract us, if you will, from how fucked up life is, right? You don't even get that no more. You just get a firm foot in your ass and get this shit done by 12 or you're fired type shit. It's crazy work when you think of it. It's why when Gen Z mofos talk about like holidays not having any joy, and it's like, bro, we can't relate as millennials. We had some decent shit going on. We may not have known it at the time, but we had some shit going on. Holiday songs actually made sense. You look under the Christmas tree, motherfuckers had Christmas trees in the corner. It actually made sense. And it wouldn't be as bad if there was something to take its place. Like if there was something equally as exciting to take its place. But all we got is more bills and more of a foot in our ass. Like Eddie Murphy said this on the Arsenio Hall show a long time ago. It's like, you're gonna get a foot in your ass. Who got the smallest feet? You see what I'm saying? Like that type shit. Speaking more on.
Yeah, to his point, about America pricing people out of happiness. Yeah, and I think a lot of people are distracted as well to even notice it or even care. People are inebriated with distraction. So although like times have changed and you really can't enjoy life to the extent that you used to be able to, for most people, I would argue, even though, funny enough, we review it all the time, there's a lot of people enjoying life a whole hell of a lot. And they're doing it with debt. And that pans back to the self-inflicted wounds we talk about. They're putting self-inflicted wounds on themselves. They're going to have a good time no matter what. But if you're being responsible, then you're not just going to be able to have all the fun in the world in America right now, in today's day and age, in mass, honestly. But a lot of people are distracted, or they just do what they want to do anyway. And then they have to pay for it later.
I know that the average American doesn't have any money left over, if but maybe $200 or $300 left after they get paid every 2 weeks or every month. Did y'all know that? I'm sorry, but that I literally feel like drive me to voluntary homelessness. I would volunteer to be homeless. There's no way they'd have me out here working for anybody and I can't live life after I pay bills. Y'all can have these bills back. Take the car, take the crib. You can have it. Listen, I'm going to be homeless on the streets before I dare. Because, see, the way I'm set up, my Father which art in heaven would never have that be my portion. That's not my portion. There's no way that paying bills and not having any money left over to really exist, that's not my portion. That's not my portion. And I feel like if that doesn't motivate you and inspire you to get out here and go make some money, make more money. See, the problem with us nowadays is not that we don't know how to make money. It's just that we need to make more money. Find ways to make more money. Stop making excuses. You need to be trying to be the president of the United States before you stop trying to find a new job. Listen, if you got to switch jobs every single 2 weeks, then that's what you got to do. May the best salary win. Thank you.
You know, at the bottom of her caption, it says people with kids are struggling financially right now. That's actually what I was thinking about, because it's funny. What we find with all of this is that, yes, things are more expensive than they've ever been, and wages are flat. Wage increases are flat. And what that does is it causes people to struggle. But yet there's a sentiment with a lot of people that they're going to be single and independent in this climate. People don't want to work together the way that we were designed to do, even when we see it's in your best interest to do that. But yet they're still having kids too. So you're not doing what makes logical sense, which is working with another person, coming together, cohabitating the way we're designed to, but then you're still having the kid. And it affects both ends of the spectrum. The guy is struggling because he's got his own little apartment trying to keep up with this child support, which is hard to get ahead with child support, because why? It doesn't factor off of what the kid needs. It factors off of a percentage of what the man makes. So no matter how you spin it, they're going to get a percentage, which is going to take a chunk out, because they already get a percentage in the form of taxes, social securities, and everything else. So that makes it hard on the guy's side. But then the female side, she's going to have logistical challenges because she's actually got the kids with her, which takes up energy, takes up time. And also, if the children are small, it may impede her schedule. So I don't understand why in this climate people are putting those type of self-inflicted wounds on themselves and they haven't adapted. And you got to adapt fast, because there's a lot of other things going on as well that's going to hold you personally responsible. But you should have already kind of seen the writing on the wall and said, oh no, this is not the time to be having kids and be trying to do it by yourself, in my opinion. In my opinion.
I find America to be quite a sad place to live, relatively, compared to most places on the planet. Is there opportunity here? Yes. Do we have corporate slop? Do we have the access to be able to buy pretty much whatever you want as long as you have the money? If you're someone who has the money, yes. But life is about more than just that. And people all over the United States right now are just losing interest in everything. Right? It's a feeling of kind of hopelessness is really taken over a large population of the United States. And I think that that's a natural reaction to where the country's at now. Truly, I do. I think that that's actually almost the healthiest response. The healthiest response would just be to pack up and leave the country. Because I don't think that hopelessness is the answer. I don't think that the answer is to just kind of fall into a state.
I don't agree with him as far as that being the healthiest response. In my opinion, the healthiest response is to when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Listen, I mean, we've been kind of speaking on the grim side of things, but there is absolutely a segment in a population of people who are not struggling whatsoever. And it's a pretty large group who are thriving in America. And if you're thriving in America, that means you're thriving everywhere else. So I get what he's saying, but I think that the healthiest thing would be to get with the times, stay on the cutting edge, always be improving, always be growing, always be diversified, and making sure that you're progressing in multiple areas of your life, while at the same time not putting self-inflicted wounds on yourself that then drain your progress. I think that's the healthy thing to do. And if you can also team up with someone, whether that's a relationship, whether that's colleagues, whether that's friends, then I think you've really got something special going on. But definitely, I feel like you have to be progressing in multiple areas at all times. You have to always be getting better, smarter, physically stronger, faster, wiser, more spiritually inclined as well. And I think that's the healthiest response, not to just get up and leave and go to a third world country or some other country. I don't think that's, because he said the healthiest. That could be a healthy response because you're making a decision, but I don't know if that's the healthiest.
State of melancholy, a state of deep, long depression. Because this isn't just simply a seasonal depression that people are feeling in this country right now. It's something much deeper than that. And it's something that's worth exploring, because if we just let ourselves think that that's all that it is, then what you're going to notice is that when springtime runs around and you're feeling the same way, you'll find a hard time explaining that. Listen, America is making you depressed. This nation is making you depressed. The lack of living and the lack of life, the lack of humanity is what's making you depressed. It's what's making you lose interest. It isn't the things that you love, you just don't love anymore. It's that we need to look at the value and the time that we invest in things. We look at everything as if it's an investment because our time is so limited. And this is something
I don't like this. Nothing. Let me give y'all a news flash. Nothing can make you depressed. Nothing can make you depressed. Whatever he's saying as far as like what you can't indulge in and what you can't partake in, that doesn't mean it can make you depressed. You can still like the little things. Like I said, you can still be progressing in things and be fulfilled. Listen, you can have all the money in the world and all the ability to do whatever you want at any time you want and be depressed. So to try to correlate depression to things external when depression is actually something that's linked to your internal, I think that's wrong. I think you can be in poverty and not be depressed as well. So I just disagree. You just have to take ownership. You just got to always be working on yourself. You got to be progressing towards something. You got to have a purpose ultimately. And I think that that's a very fulfilling life. But we'll leave it there. Y'all, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second. It actually does help out tremendously. Also, if you could hype the video, hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and then it'll show you the points. And also Patreon's link below if you want to see self-improvement content as well. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.